Do I feel heard? Not as much as I would like for them to hear me. I'd like to be involved.
At this present moment now, yes. I feel they're being more seen, more heard than ever. Being someone of an older age, in the 80s and 90s, we weren't as heard as much, but we were still making progress.
Always been proud of being in my skin since I was a little kid. I've never had any insecurities. I've always strived to just express myself and just enjoying what I do and just making sure that everybody around me enjoy my company.
2017, that's when I fully decided to just embrace who I am and who God made me to be. So, yeah.
When I was around 18 years old, when I first got out, went on my own, explored the world a little bit, and realized life was smaller than my little small town.
I would say that yes, I do, but it depends upon like the spaces that I kind of patronage. I'm gonna be honest, if I go to more so non-Black spaces, not really as much. But today, now, this space, I do feel seen and heard.
What is the biggest threat for as an individual person of color? Discrimination.
Racism plays a part in every part of the world and part of the nation. Regardless of what it is, some places it may not be as a major thing, and some places it may be minor. But the racism comes in many different forms, many different meanings. It could be subliminal, it could be hidden, it comes in many different meanings and definitions. It's like every day, like especially in this day and age, you learn something new about racism and a whole new definition.
My biggest fear for as a person of color and being gay is getting bashed.
You walk out in public being your true organic self, and then someone is not in alliance with that. And it's really bad that your thoughts of someone else differs from others and you have to retaliate on them. I think that's our biggest threat.
I think for me, being a person of color, my fear might be a little bit of the police. I don't trust them things.
Maybe the police force. Because you not only have people that don't like queer people, but you also have people that don't like Black people as well. So if you think about it, it's a double whammy. So that to me is the biggest threat to the queer Black man today.
Yeah, my background ain't that good, so I'm not with it. I never liked it.
We all got a little background somewhere.
My background a little different.
My biggest fear as a same gender lover is not finding someone to build a future with. I think it may be a little difficult, but I think that's kind of a big fear of mine, but I'm going to get over it eventually. So
my biggest fear as a same gender loving man is that mostly that I just won't be, you can't go out and just be happy with who you are. You have to always kind of be a little too aware of your surroundings and where you at and what you're doing, and you just necessarily can't love the way you want to show love and affection just anywhere and how you want to do that. So that's my biggest thing, is having the recourse to having to deal with the issues that come with me being very open and happy who I am, with also knowing and, you know, understanding that everybody ain't as happy, and understanding as what you are and how you feel and live with their own set of morals and values and what that details for them.
My biggest fear as a gay Black man is to not have the same opportunities as a regular guy on the street would have in terms of work, in terms of other opportunities that might come about in the world. That's my biggest fear, because I know that I'm just as capable and maybe even more in most cases. So to me, that's my biggest fear.
I think my biggest fear as a Black gay man, and I actually have never really given thought to this, but I think it's kind of more so that that loneliness, not being accepted, feeling as if you aren't heard, depending upon the spaces that you occupy. You know, being Black is kind of one thing, right? And then we talk about racism, but then within racism, there's anti-Blackness, which is an entirely different issue. And so I feel as if my biggest fear is kind of attempting to have my own like thoughts of success, whatever that is, and facing all these obstacles, not only because of being, you know, queer, but also being a person of color. I guess like the double whammy is kind of what I'm afraid of.
My biggest fear in the world, it's funny that that's one of the questions, but I do not like walking alone. I don't care that I live in South Florida. I will pay for a valet, and I almost did that recently at an event just to feel more safe and secure. Unfortunately, the looks and the stares are there just because I'm a Black woman walking in an area or city that people may not see other Black women. As a Black woman, there are a lot of misconceptions through looks and behaviors that we encounter, and that's just due to societal constructs. I think I'm at a point in place where I care not what a person thinks about me, I'm just aware of energy. So if I don't feel safe, then I will take another route or make sure that I'm not the only one in that space alone. But just walking down the street, people looks, they don't bother me, I'm just aware. I think because I carry myself like royalty, that's one and foremost. You don't know who you are, so I'm going to intimidate you, and it's okay. I don't think that it's good for me to waste my time or my breath explaining what people do not want to understand.
What does success means to me? That I have certain goals that I want to accomplish. I have accomplished a few of them, like they've been dreams of mine, but I'm still working on certain other ones. What is the biggest fear as the same gender living in South Florida? That I don't get heard enough to understand who I am and what I'm about, and why I'm here helping the LGBT, and that's why I'm in every single organization. I want to be heard and seen. I want to help. I want to be available.
First, being yourself. Determination. You have to be a special type of uniqueness when it comes down to being stubborn, persistent, determined about what do you want in this life and what do you want to leave behind when you transition to the other side. You have to be the rare prototype to focus on a dream and go for it and then accomplish it and then enjoy your fruits of labor.
A professionalism or a type of wealth, I think success is where you're comfortable within yourself, comfortable where you can do whatever you want, how you want, whenever you want, without any type of delays. I think that's success.
Making your dreams, hopes, any accomplishments actually come true, come to reality.
Just being happy with where I have been and what I have achieved. Whatever goal you have set forth, if you have achieved that, I feel that that has been successful, and whatever that is, you know, and being comfortable with who you are as a person, whether that's professional, whether that's just you living your best life.
Success to me means being happy in what you do, being strong and confident in what you do, and coming home at the end of the day feeling fulfilled.
For me, I would say what your own personal goals are, what you're able to achieve and accomplish, but I would say there are a couple of things that I think should be universal. I would say financial stability. You don't have to be a millionaire, but I think it's difficult to really pursue anything else if you're struggling financially. That's kind of like the biggest thing in our capitalist system that you kind of want to make sure that you have, you know, I guess, in order. I would say health would be the second thing. Can't do anything if you're unhealthy. And I would also say that spiritual, mental, and physical, you know, like satisfaction would be the next thing. I think those three things are kind of the main pillars, but for everyone else, it's different.
The 10-year-old me probably would tell myself right here, just be happy. And if you can't find happiness, create happiness in that moment, because I'm really blessed. I have a lot of good friends and a lot of good opportunities before me, ahead of me. I think the 10-year-old Tanya would say, just take time and breathe more.
I think what I would tell my preteen self, do what you want to do. Basically, and don't worry about what anybody else says. So I think that would have been what I would tell them.
Live your life to the fullest. Don't take no for an answer. Just strive to be you, how you want to be, when you want to be, and just don't take no for an answer. Just live your best life organically.
I would say keep going. You're doing a good job. Follow the rules. Don't be afraid to take some extra chances in things that you're interested in. But, you know, at the same time, I kind of feel like everything happens for a reason. So I may tell my preteen self something and then fast forward like 20 years later and I have all types of problems because I told them like do something crazy. So I would say stick to what you're doing great, and overall it gets way, way better.
My full name is Melba De Leon, and my pronoun is she, her.
My name is Brandon, and my pronouns is he, him.
My name is Joshua, and my pronouns are he, him.
My name is Sebastian Gay, and I am a he.
My name is Orlando, and my pronouns is he, him.
My name is Marcus, and my pronouns are he, him, and his.
My name is Cedric Roberson. Pronouns are he and him.
I'm Tony. My pronoun is him and his. Some of the younger generation even call me uncle or auntie, so I'll take either or.
My name is Al. My pronoun name is Aloysius.
My name is Terrence Julius. Pronouns is me, he, him, his, and King.
So my name's Chris, first name. Gender pronouns are he, him, his. When dating, I don't think race is a determining factor because, you know, being Jamaican, like, we have all different races, you know, Chinese, you know, like I guess Asian, you know, Southeast Asian, there are white Jamaicans too. It was more so mainly emphasis on whether or not you can fit in with the culture, I would say. So race wasn't really that big of a thing, even though there was colorism in the culture, race wasn't really that much of a factor. So I'd have to say that race kind of isn't. But if I do date someone outside of my race, my expectation is that they understand or willing to learn about Black issues, because that's going to be a problem if we are like at a major disconnect with that thing. As for HIV status, not so much. Don't really care about that. Would like to know, but you know, hey, studies are now showing that if you are undetectable, then you know, chances of you passing it on are probably like negligible at this point. So as far as I'm concerned, not a big deal. If anything, it'll probably be more of a preference if someone's HIV positive and knows and is on meds. That's just my 2 cents. And on top of that, there's also, you know, PrEP and, you know, other things that you can do to kind of prevent, you know, any sort of, I guess, being infected or getting the disease. So I don't think it's that big of a deal now anymore.
Being an activist is very important to me because I was born and raised in this country, and I've seen racism happen right in front of my eyes. I have not experienced it as much as maybe as the next person of color, but I have seen it played out in schools, jobs, in the streets, even to just walk and mind your business. The Black Lives Movement is important to me because I get to stand up for what I believe in, and I'm letting people know, look, I'm in the forefront. We're not going to take no bullshit. We're just gonna tell you what it is, and we're gonna go for it. So that's why it's very important to me, because our voice matters. My voice matters. Okay? Like, if people can't wake up to that, oh well, they'll be left behind, because we're in a progressive society and we're going places. So you could be stuck in 1850, but I'm going to 2050. Deuces.
As a man of color, I think it's important to take care of your body and mind, because we go through so many things in life, to racism, to prejudice, to a lot of things. And as a minority, we need to kind of like go beyond beyond the limit, go beyond others, just so that we could feel important to others.
With our society as a whole, I would like to see people accept themselves. Unfortunately, in the Black community, we want non-Blacks to accept us. As a female, we want men to accept us. And if we get into the LGBT community, we want Christians to accept us. Why? Accept yourself, love yourself, and grow through life, and understand that those that you connect with are on their separate journeys. We can agree to disagree, but what is keeping us divided through spirituality is the lack of love. We need to meet people in love, and we need to require that people meet us in love on a professional and personal level.